Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you do not know me, I'm a manifestation coach. I have been for the last 7 years. I've been successfully helping thousands of people manifest what they want in their reality, whether that be a specific person, love, relationships, health, wealth, career, money, you name it, family. I can help you figure out what is standing between you and your manifestations. And actually, we're going to talk about that in this video today, or what is blocking you from getting what you want in your reality with a specific person or money or anything that you want to manifest in your reality. Before I dive in, you guys, if you guys want to work together, look at the description in the box below or email me. I have different things you can choose from, such as one-on-one coaching sessions, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. I also offer email coaching. I also offer various packages. One is for a 1 month intense packaging, and I have a couple other packages which you could use over a course of a couple months, just depending on what you need. Okay, and we will come up with a tailor-made plan for you in those sessions as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into what's blocking you. So first of all, before we get into what's blocking you, let's just say, why is it not just so easy to manifest something completely different in your reality? Okay, why can't we just snap our fingers and get what we want? All right, the reason why is because we're addicted to the old story. We're addicted to our programming, and we need to learn how to break out of this matrix. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video today. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys some tips for it. So according to research, we have about 70,000 thoughts a day, okay? And if you think about that, and those are on autopilot, because of those thoughts, 80% of those thoughts that we're thinking are habitual, okay? And 95% of those are negative thoughts, okay? So we're identifying and actually we're habitually telling a story that we don't want, okay? And now we're gonna learn how to change that. So we have that science behind that, we have that background. We know that's why our reality is not changing. If we have those many thoughts a day and the majority of our thoughts are, what did I say? 80% were negative and 95% were the same thing that were on repeat from the day before. That's why we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing that change in our reality, all right? So that makes perfect sense. So we're gonna break through that matrix. So we need to start learning to observe our thoughts and not identify with their thoughts, okay? So we can break out of these old programming. You guys, you can. You are not your programming. Some of these stuff are just passed on to you, okay? You are not even your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your identity that you think you are. You're actually pure consciousness. We're going into different states of consciousness, okay? Because that's truly what you are. Your consciousness and awareness. Your true self is love and abundance. All right, you've just been told differently. So when we're babies, we're coming into this world, we're like sponges, okay? And we have a clean slate, first of all. So we have a clean slate, we come in, and then our minds are like sponges. And we believe everything that we are told, okay? Everything we're told. Because at that point, we lack the ability to articulate or to evaluate if something is good for us, right or wrong. We just take whatever we hear and it gets absorbed in our brains. Okay, you could have heard limiting beliefs one time or another impress your subconscious mind, and then you continuously create that assumption, which is outpictured in your reality. Okay, these beliefs are almost like viruses or infections to the mind. So we're going to break through those. Okay, we're learning to break through those, breaking through the addiction of telling the old story. You manifest what you are and your conceptions of yourself. So remember that. So what's your conception of yourself? And sometimes you don't know that because it's so ingrained in you. Okay, so that's what I'm here to listen to what you're saying about yourself, so we can kind of break the habit of that's not serving you. Okay, break those limiting beliefs that aren't serving you. Okay, and because your subconscious is always recording what you say. Okay, it's going to outpicture in reality whatever you're dominantly saying. So we need to be very careful and entertain ideas and wishes that we want to manifest out. So here we know some things about this. Now we're going to look at some tips that are going to help you guys through this. So what are some common blocks that I see with clients over the years? One thing is not having clarity. Okay, so we want to be really intentional and clear on what we want. I'm going to be looking at my notes, you guys, too. So I want you to be specific on what you want. You can't be wishy-washy, okay? You can't say, well, I want this, but maybe I don't want this. So think about this. If you specifically say that you want a car, let's say I intend to get a car, and then a beater shows up, like something you don't like, you're like, oh crap, I wasn't really intentional. That's not what I wanted. I really wanted a Maserati, let's say. So we need to be also intentional and specific what we want in our relationships as well. What does that look like? So, get specific on what you truly want. People without, without being specific, tend to get wishy-washy results. Also comes into the fact of, okay, well, I want this, but if I don't get it, I'm going to be okay type thing. Or I want to be valued, but maybe I'm asking for too much. Even that's not being specific, okay? I want to be valued. I want to be valued. You stick to that. You don't argue against being valued. Figure out what value means to you, and you don't argue against that, okay? Because if you're saying, I want to be valued, but this person kind of values me some of the time, you're letting them off the hook, and everybody's you pushed out. So you're going to get that wishy-washy results back, that hot and cold behavior. So again, you want to be specific with what you want, okay, to have in your reality, and we don't want that wishy-washy. Okay, so be clear on what you want. Other things, these are no particular order of importance, but the things I see, people seeing things of outside of themselves, okay, or separate. Thinking, no, we're creating everything. So we have to take that responsibility that nothing is outside of us. Everybody's just reflecting, and what we're seeing, our circumstances are reflecting back to us our state of consciousness of what we are in relation to that particular topic. So it could be reflecting that your assumptions about yourself. It could be the assumptions you have about, let's just say, taking a relationship. It could be your assumptions about, men. It could be your assumptions about relationships in general. It could be assumptions about yourself. It could be assumptions about your particular person as well, your specific person. Okay, so all those are going to create what you're seeing in that reflection, in that mirror. It's going to be reflected back by those various assumptions. Okay, so we want to remind ourselves that no one's outside of ourselves. We are projecting onto them everything based on our assumptions of what we think in relation to what we're trying to manifest, with what I just explained a second ago. All right, nobody is outside of you. Okay, you are the conscious creator of your reality. 3, the attachment. Okay, so a lot of attachment we have here, and the attachment could look like, where is it? The importance you're putting on it. Is it coming? This isn't working. This, I can't manifest this. I can manifest everything but this. The attachment and the importance we're putting on it. So we're going to try to, break that and try to make everything seen. I understand things can feel more important than others, but our thing is to want to make it seem neutral. Okay. So if we're going to get a specific thing, it's going to create a sort of like, feeling inside of us, we want to start giving that to ourselves first, and also seeing everything as equal playing field. Same thing as Abraham Hicks would say, there's no difference between a button and a castle. So taking that sort of importance of it, and what I mean is not putting something so much outside of you, seeing yourself as someone also valuable of having these sort of things as well. And quit arguing for why it's not working. So people, addition to this is, I guess my next thing is people not breaking the attachment they have to the old story. Okay, so some people are so attached to the old stories. Well, they've always been this way. They've always said this. They said this to me. Everybody thinks this about them. Well, that's just a reflection of what you have going on here, and everybody's you pushed out. So if you're saying this about this specific person, everybody's going to reflect that back to you. So you have to go inwardly and break that attachment to that old story. And there's usually a reason why you have it. And I've noticed in my own practice and helping other people too. And I think Bashar says it too. There's a reason why you hold on to it, because it's serving you somehow. So you want to start thinking, how is this serving me? Okay, so for instance, do I always have to be, do I always have to be right? It could be different things. Everybody has different assumptions. Why are you holding on to that story still? Do you want people to feel sorry for you? And there's no shame in this. This is just things I've seen. Do you feel like you have always been this way, and that you're only liked if people feel sorry for you, for taking that example? Okay. Or do you always want to be seen as the nice person and everybody else treats you like shit? Okay. It might be serving you in that way because you have an identity of being the good person, good guy, good girl, and people only like you if you're nice. So you kind of want to break down those different things. And again, that's what coaching can be very valuable for. because people cannot, this is another block, like I said, is the inability to break down that old story. So as you go through these processes of everything I'm saying, you're going to start becoming aware of what your assumptions are, how and why it's serving you. Go in and kind of journal about it, and then we need to change your assumptions as they come up. Now, you're not going to be perfect at this either. So you're going to kind of notice your assumptions as they come up. You're going to see them, you're going to observe them without so much emotional attachment, and realize, I'm going to change the story now, okay? This is what I'm intending to see. This person's always been this way to me. Okay, as soon as I want to go and be like, yeah, they're always a jerk to me. They're always a jerk. See, I knew they're a jerk, because that's going to keep that perpetual cycle going. You're going to see, yeah, they're behaving like a jerk right now. I don't like it, but guess what? I'm very valuable. I'm very worthy, and I intend from here on out that they always treat me with respect. So you're going to, start being aware of those old stories and breaking that addiction to the old story. And you have to be super honest with this as well. And again, as I say this, there's no judges. I mean, this is work that I've done internally as well. I mean, nobody has ever taught us this. So we're learning to, peel the onion back through this process. Next block is not persisting. So again, I kind of already touched on that. It's when something shows up in your reality and you think that you should give up and be like, it's not working. Okay. Or if you're seeing the opposite. So what we need to understand is when that shows up, it's just the old story. Okay. That's what I say. It's just the old story. So you observe it, you kind of validate, ground yourself with your feelings, kind of regulate your emotions, remind yourself that that's just the old story. Be aware of it. Be aware of those are the old assumptions. And then you're going to say your new story. Okay. So I also want to say, and I think it kind of goes along with the other one that I'm about to say too, is you're going to have negative thoughts. Okay. Let's just be for real. Every time I've manifested something that I've never had before, I definitely have negative thoughts. That's natural. You're going to have negative thoughts. Okay. Your brain is wired to go that way. We have neuroplasticity. So we're changing the way our brain is wired, okay, as we go through this process as well. And those negative thoughts are there because it's your ego trying to protect you, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. So we just want to start being aware of it, know that these feelings could come up, all right, and those are okay, but we're going to persist in the new story. So these are all kind of tying together, as you guys can see, which goes down to the next point. Is feeling like you have to believe it. Another block is people feeling like they have to believe it. You are not probably going to believe something until it shows up. I mean, I haven't necessarily believed everything until it showed up. You know why? Because you don't have the evidence. And again, your brain, your ego is going to want to keep you stuck because it wants to keep you safe. So it's going to say, no, remember last time you tried this. Remember last time you said this to this person. Remember last time they did this to you. Remember last time, whatever that story is, that voice inside your head is going to say that. But remember, you're not your thoughts. As I said earlier, you're not your feelings. You're not your old identity. Someone once said, I'm this way, I'm always going to be this way. No, you're not. You're only going to be that way if you continuously say that about yourself. You can break out of this cycle of what you think you are at any point, but it's rising above this, transcending past those negative thoughts as they come up, okay? And not believing in it. You don't have to believe in this. Not forcing yourself to believe in this, okay? Because you're creating something new that you've never experienced before. So it is going to feel a little bit scary at first, and that's okay. And I have the example that I tell some clients, think about this. This is just an analogy. Maybe you go to preschool, and then you go to grade school, and then you go to middle school, and then you go to high school, and then you go to college possibly, and then you get a job, or maybe you have one job and you go to a different job. Every single time you're becoming a different version of yourself as well. You're going into different places that you've never had, and you get those fear-based thoughts. You get the feeling of fear that I've never done this before, but you've moved forward. You've done okay. So think about that with manifesting too. Of course, it's going to feel a little bit scary at first because you haven't identified with that before. You haven't had that experience, and you're also going against all those negative thoughts that are trying to keep you stuck. So I just want to say it's okay to have those fears and doubts, okay? It's perfectly normal to have those as well. It's just we're transcending through those. We're transcending. So as I'm seeing something that's showing up in my reality, I'm gonna say, yes, I see you, but you're not serving me anymore. I'm not choosing this story anymore. This is what I'm intending. This is what I wanna see. This is what I wanna see. And keep persisting in that, despite what's showing up despite if there's something showing up that I don't like, until it shows up, because it has to. It's the law. This is how it works. Next block I see is feeling you need to be perfect, okay? Perfect, and this could come in two different forms. Perfect for whatever you're trying to manifest, like perfect for the job or perfect for your specific person, okay? Or just a perfect person. And that kind of goes with your self-identity. So we're breaking through that barrier as well, because that's a block to feel like you need to be perfect because you're already perfect, whole, and complete. But also I want to even extend this further, is feeling like you need to be perfect at manifesting. So it goes back to what I said earlier. Yes, you're gonna have fears, thoughts, okay, and doubts. You're going to have those. Stop beating yourself up, okay? So resisting those are gonna persist. So we wanna start being okay, knowing that those are perfectly normal, okay? Perfectly normal. Stop resisting them. Stop thinking something's wrong with you. No, they're just there, okay? Can we just do that? Everybody do that? Cool. Okay. 8, you feeling like you're a failure if you're not getting it right away. So then people start identifying with this failure. Oh, I didn't get it right away. I didn't get it with the snap on my fingers. What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. I suck. I created. This is all my fault. Whew, you are not a failure. Again, it's your reality. It's the rules you're creating. It's what you're saying about yourself. So as soon as you start saying, I'm a failure, the universe hears, your subconscious, is going to hear you're a failure. Let me give you more examples of this, okay? Because again, it's going to say what you tell it dominantly. So don't identify with that. You're not a failure. We're always changing. We're always evolving. Every time we want a new desire, we're going to change and evolve into something that we haven't experienced before. And we're going to be met with some different thoughts, okay? And we're breaking through our old attachment. Like I said, these are all connecting together here. 8 or 9, I don't know what number I'm on, is self-concept. All right. Also, this is going to feeling like you're not worthy of something. You're not deserving of something, that you don't deserve this. Maybe you didn't put enough work in, or maybe you did this in the past to your specific person, or maybe you feel like you're asking too much, or, oh my gosh, at one time I got mad at them and I should have never said that, or, oh, I cried to them one time, or, oh, one time I was needy. Whatever it is. I mean, those are just some examples I've heard from people. Would be one example. So stop saying that, because everybody's you pushed out. If you feel that way, they're going to reflect that back. Or you just might feel like you're undeserved, like you don't deserve to have a relationship where somebody treats you well. Okay, I've had that experience in my past. I used to identify with that. We want to start seeing ourselves as somebody that is worthy of having the love that they want. Okay, and so start being, again, going back to the clarity of what that looks like. But again, you have to value yourself and see yourself as somebody who is deserving of that. Okay. Because it's your conception of what you think you're worthy of in your reality, whether that be money, whether that be a specific person, whether that be a career, whether that be even in your family. It's all coming back to what your self-image is and seeing yourself as somebody who is valuable. Okay, and that again goes back to what I said earlier of you're practicing, you're rehearsing this new state of consciousness that you've maybe never experienced before, which also ties in the fact of not believing it because you haven't done it before, but you are the actor or actress. You're also the director. So you're the scriptwriter, director, and the star of your show. So you get to have what you want. Stop putting other people ahead of you. You can look at my other video of that video as well. Stop putting people on a pedestal. Okay, put yourself there. See yourself as a star of the show. Okay, and watch for these common blocks. Okay, also you're allowed to have boundaries, which I said before. We want to create, what we want, what we think that we can have in our reality, and start practicing that, and watch out for these different blocks that I have created this video about, because once you start being aware of those blocks, you're going to see how you're sabotaging yourself. You're going to kind of start seeing why it's not manifesting out as quickly as you would like. And I intend that this video was helpful so you can bring awareness to what you're saying and some clarity so you can start manifesting easier what you want in your reality. If you guys want to work together, remember the descriptions in the link below. Packages, one-on-one sessions, various ways to work with each other. You can also email me as well. All right, you guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks.